No, I am good to go, sir. I am very excited for this next part.
All right. So we're 40 minutes into the podcast. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. What's today's topic for this week, Max?
So last week we talked about is Keenan Allen a Hall of Famer and kind of what the makings of a Hall of Fame receiver. Because we're like, damn, you got 10,000 yards. I mean, like, not bad. This week we're going to go with a different position, and it's not just what makes one. So the question is, what's going to be the next Hall of Fame running back? Like, what does a running back have to do in 2025 or 2023, 2024 to make the Hall of Fame? Um, as it stands, one, how many active running backs do you see with a realistic shot for the Hall of Fame? Just to put it in terms of like, damn, like the guy looks like it. Derrick Henry to me is the only guy I would say has his already paved his way
Yeah.
to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I know people are gonna say, "Well, he's been in the league 10 fucking years or whatever," and I bet the number one person people are gonna comment if they watch this is gonna say, "Christian McCaffrey's on his way." I I don't think you Christian McCaffrey's candidacy. It's not just about him. Is this fucking for sure topic with a guy plagued with injuries for most of his career, doesn't have that many accolades, so on. I want to talk to you and figure out what does a Hall of Fame running back have to do like what does a running back have to do to earn a shot at the Hall of Fame? Like what's the base level type shit? Because there'll never be another Frank Gore,
Yeah.
right? We're not
Yeah.
going to see that anymore.
Right.
I pulled up running backs that aren't in the Hall of Fame one. Fred Taylor,
Which
Steven
is
Jackson,
criminal.
Corey Dillon, LaShawn McCoy, Marshawn Lynch. Uh, I think all those guys have a shot. I think they've all played with good enough players to make the case. This is the last thing I'm going to give you before we start this case. I went back to the last time we had a 16 game year. So 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2021. How many running backs got 300 plus carries in that 5 year span?
Man. Well, maybe Zeke. I know probably Zeke got there, right?
Okay.
That's
Mm-hmm.
the only one I can really
One
think
year.
of. That's it.
There's seven running backs to reach the 300 carry plateau. Ezekiel Elliott did it twice. Le'Veon Bell did it once.
Mm.
Fucking ran his ass to the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Derrick Henry did it twice. Sorry, Ezekiel Elliott's done it three times.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry did it twice, 2019, 2020. Josh Jacobs did it in 2020.
Josh Jacobs, he did get a lot of carries.
How many running backs in 2003 had 300 carries or more?
It has to be high, right? I would say at least 15.
13.
Okay, I was close. Yeah.
13 out of the 32 starting running backs. That's about a third of them.
Yeah.
2005, there was 10. Larry Johnson had 400 fucking carries in a
I
year.
remember that year. That was crazy.
So I bring that up to say, if you're a running back, and I get it, the game's changed. Christian McCaffrey gets a lot of catches that are carries, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, they're paying you to run the ball. That's what the end of the day, it's not just like, oh, Christian McCaffrey's going to make the Hall of Fame because he has 6,000
Well,
receiving yards. That all helps and good dandy, whatever. Don't fucking care.
I want to say this though,
Question is,
Max.
these running backs are not getting the ball as the guys in the 2000s were.
Yeah, that's
And the
facts.
game's gotten less physical, but somehow they can't carry it as much as they used to, which just it's just weird to me, Juan. So
Well,
what does a running back have to do to balls in your court?
okay, first of all, I want to say something about that Christian McCaffrey thing. If we're labeling McCaffrey on there, we got to label Alvin Kamara. Have you seen that? Alvin Kamara has the
I
same
I
exact
pulled
stats.
him up. Same fucking stats.
Yes.
Same fucking stats as him. The
Yeah.
only thing but guys, Christian McCaffrey, the resume is not of a Hall of Fame running back through his first how many years he's been in the NFL? 6 years. Two all pro teams, two Pro Bowls.
Has he been the
That's
rushing?
it.
Has he been the rushing champ
Never.
once?
Never.
I think this is
Like,
probably going
guys,
to be his first year, maybe this year.
yeah. Derrick Henry, first team All Pro, two-time second team All Pro, three Pro Bowls, back-to-back rushing leader, offensive player of the year, 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
That's like, and I feel like we've lowered the bar for Derrick Henry to
Yeah.
get to the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, obviously, if I pull up Adrian Peterson, which isn't really fair,
Yeah.
this is just pointed to consideration. 7 All Pro teams won,
Jesus.
MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, NFL Rookie of the Year, 3-time rushing leader. Like that shit don't come. When is a running back going to get 7 All Pro teams won?
If he has Christian
Ever.
Ponder playing quarterback.
Exactly, but then they'll never be.
Yeah. No, that's
Like Chris Johnson has a fucking case, dude. 3-time Pro Bowl. He only made 1 All Pro though.
yeah.
How crazy is that? Like, what the fuck does a running back have to do? Because I think we've passed the golden age of running backs. It's done. That's not to say there are great ones, but how many of these running backs, and they don't play the style of football where you're like, damn, Adrian Peterson literally carried a team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Will there ever be a team? And I think we saw the last one in 2019 whenever Derrick Henry got 2,000 with the Titans.
Yeah.
Will we ever see a running back and be like, that fool carried that team?
Oh man. I don't think so. I'm trying to think who can do it. And you would have said if you talked to me week 1 before the season started, I would have said potentially Bijan Robinson, but I think that ship has sailed at this point. I don't think that's possible with him. You would say
The
Saquon.
greatest prospect we've ever seen was Saquon Barkley.
He's hurt all the time. He
He's
can't.
hurt all the time. Bad plays behind the bad O line. How many realistically years does he have left? 2, 1 or 2, 3 maybe.
Of elite years, I would say he has about maybe 2 left. As far as playing in the league, I think he has, a good handful.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean. I mean, dude, we're like we clown Zeke Elliott. He has a case for the Hall of Fame. Like, like. So what I've come to realize when you're talking about this is Zeke, 2 All Pros, three-time Pro Bowl, 2-time rushing leader. What I've realized is one, I think what we're gonna have to do, and because me and you, I think grew up in the one of the golden age of running backs, because the 2000s there were so many good fucking running
Yeah.
backs, like dude, Fred Taylor, AP,
Corey
obviously,
Dillon.
LT. What did you say?
Corey Dillon.
Corey fucking Dillon, Curtis Martin,
Yeah.
Steven Jackson,
Steven Jackson. Yeah.
Michael Turner. Like we had running backs that were like fucking really good.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think what's going to have to happen is we need as a podcast, as me, just between me and you, and I think we do this. If you're a Hall of Fame quarterback today, the bar has to be raised, because there are certain guys like Matt Ryan who I don't know if he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, but you look at the stats one, and you're like, fuck, he's like top 10
Yeah,
passing.
when you start comparing them to the fucking 1980 guys, yeah.
So for the running backs, are we going to be like, well, they don't run the ball as much anymore?
That's a
So
great
do we
point.
have to lower
Yes.
the standard for the Hall of Fame for running backs?
Yes, most definitely.
So is Christian McCaffrey like, dude, you got 5,000 yards and like receiving and passing and rushing, you're fucking in, brother.
Yeah. Well, that means Alvin
Like,
Kamara is going to get into.
I don't know. That's what I'm
But
saying.
you see,
Like,
but the thing is Christian McCaffrey probably had what one. I wouldn't even say that his best year. Derrick Henry was still the best running back in the league. I think that's one
Christian
thing.
McCaffrey has never been the best running back in football. He's
I
doing it right now.
Yeah, this
But
year he
Derrick
is.
Henry, old reliable, has 600 fucking yards, and I don't think it's comparable. I think Christian McCaffrey is much better.
Yeah.
But then you're like, God damn! Like, remember when I asked you, and I was like, damn,
Yeah,
Derrick
like
Henry
in
has
his sleep.
650
In his
yards.
sleep, he's getting that.
Like, God damn. So like this is the type of shit. Like we always compare Christian McCaffrey to Marshall Faulk, right?
Right.
Marshall Faulk had 1,400 rushing yards and 800 receiving yards in the heyday in 14 fucking games. Like finishing, he won an MVP and almost won it again. Like that was the type of running back me and you grew up with, dude. And it's gone. It's gone because obviously offenses have changed. Now, I would say this one: we are in the golden age of receivers.
Yes.
There's so many good fucking receivers.
Yeah. I would say this too, Max, as far as McCaffrey goes. When when is he gonna break down? Because it's like
Oh,
you see,
anytime. I can't so count on him. Can you?
no, you can't. I mean, he got hurt this year, but I say that in saying like, look at a guy like Zeke. He's the guy on that list, right? Besides, does he have more? What was the criteria? 500 carries or
300.
300 carries?
He had three of them.
So he had the most, right? Than Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he's had more than Derrick Henry in his
Okay,
career.
so look at the guy who is the gold standard as far as the closest thing we have seen in recent memory of getting numbers close to in the 2000s or the late 2000s as far as carries go. Look at his career right now. He is broken down. He's he's not the same player.
I would say Zeke obviously didn't do it completely right, like the way his career handled. Like when he got kind of fat and kind of let himself go a little to bulk. Maybe he bulked up when he shouldn't have, right?
Yeah.
But Zeke really avoided a lot of injury. He never got hurt. When did he
Yeah.
really get hurt ever?
But look at the downfall drastically on what happened. I think
Hmm.
that's what's gonna
And we
happen.
thought we had a Hall of Fame running back in Todd fucking Gurley. Nothing could stop him until he banged his knee wrong in the Super Bowl, and we never saw him again.
Yeah, and
Literally.
it hits you fast. Le'Veon Bell, another one. It hits fast. It's just like
So
one day you wake
what
up
were
and they're
guys
back.
doing in the so in the 2000s, was it just the defenses weren't as fast, so they kind of could stick around a little longer, or what was it?
I just
Because
think a
you
lot
would
more
think as the
teams.
games got less physical, I guess the one position that's not affected by that is running back because it's still a car crash.
Yeah, the one thing to look at is not a lot of guys ran shotgun back in the day. A lot of it was under
No.
center.
Oh
So
yeah.
so to top it all off, teams were prioritizing the run in a sense where that was their identity. It was just something you needed to do. It's like we need to have a run game. If you can't run the ball in this league, you're not going to be able to fucking win. That's not the case anymore. It's like now you need somewhat of a run game. It's like you can win the Super Bowl with Isaiah Pacheco. Yeah.
Yeah, who was the Rams running back? Cam Akers, and they won a fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's just so back, we have to answer the question because we've just been talking for like the last 15 minutes. So what is a Hall of Fame running back one like? Is it you led the league in rushing once or twice? You were a pretty good receiving back. You got a couple all pros, couple Pro Bowls.
You need to be the identity of that team. Similar to what Derrick Henry was to the Titans, where it's like, this guy is coming. You know that he is the main vocal point. It's like with AP. When you play the Vikings, it's like you got to deal with this guy. This is the guy that's gonna fucking carry them. And he winds up doing it single fucking handedly. That's what a running
So
back's gonna have to
how
do.
many running backs would you say are the focal point of their team's offense? Saquon?
Yeah, Saquon. That's it. I would say Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I would say that too. I mean,
I
I think
think
it.
Josh Jacobs gonna hit that 300 yard, that 300 carry mark again this year.
Oh,
By the
for
way,
sure, for sure. But yeah, it's just kind of like, hey, the Eagles don't have a good running back. I mean, they have a good running back, but it's not like, damn, they have
well,
Saquon
okay, put it
Barkley.
this way, Max. Think of
Jonathan Taylor?
no,
Not
I
yet,
don't think
not
so.
anymore.
Not anymore. Think of it like this: what good team that we consider in the NFL right now, where the running back is the vocal point?
Maybe the Niners, but again, they have so many other weapons too. It's kind of
Yeah,
like they have a, yeah.
it's hard to
I
say
don't
with the
know.
Niners.
Yeah.
I mean, even the
I,
Jags, like you can say the Jags, like, hey, it's ETN,
so
but like,
again, like how many running backs do you even look like, and you're like, that's a Hall of Famer right there. Like ETN's really fucking good, but you're not like, oh, that guy's
no,
gonna make the Hall of Fame.
no, not at all.
No.
The only chance
And
we
I
got,
love Travis Etienne.
the only chance we got is I hate to say this because I know you're gonna get pissed off. It really is Bijan. That's it. If shit winds up turning and it's like they still can't find a quarterback, they give him the
Why isn't it
reins.
Jamar Gibbs? Just because Goff's there and like they're actually a good
Yeah,
team and
yeah.
it's like more than just Jamar Gibbs.
And I don't think Jameer
So
Gibbs has the body to do that. I just don't
so
think
what
his
if
run
let's
style.
just say this one. What if Jameer Gibbs plays 7 years, makes two Pro Bowls, gets two all pro teams, finishes his career with like 7,000 like 8,000 rushing yards, 5,000 receiving. Is that a Hall of Fame running back?
I don't think so. They don't. And I don't think he has the frame to do that.
No, I'm just saying I'm just using him because he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Like who was a rookie running back from last year's class
Kenny
that's
Walker,
really good.
Brees Hall.
Yeah, like okay, so Kenny Walker finished his career with 8,000 rushing yards in 6 years, 7 years, 5,000 receiving yards, a couple All Pros, couple Pro Bowls. Is that the Hall of Fame?
You
Because
know
that's all it's
what?
going to be.
You know what, Max? I want to bring this up. I think this is something that we're really missing here. I think we're underestimating the offensive line play. I think that's one of the things that have drastically changed from the early 2000s. And even
From
like
like at least good to now it's like
it's
pitiful.
bad. No, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Often like to put it this way, you have heard some linemen say that they have never pulled in their life until they got to the NFL. Like that's fucking nuts. So I just feel like there's limited things that you can do with the
So
offensive
the
line.
college offenses kill Hall of Fame running backs.
And that could be the answer right there. I think that's something that we have to highly consider. That the offensive line talent is a big part of it on why the
So
run game is not where it should be.
I'm going to say a few names of running backs that are playing right now. And I want you to tell me if they're Hall of Famers or the percentage of Hall of Fame. Derrick Henry, 100%. You can lock him
Yeah,
in. He's going.
100%.
McCaffrey.
50-50.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to say that. And it's like, damn, like you were there. Like AP, 100%. He's going to the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame. Not even close.
Yeah.
Um, Trying
Brees
to
Hall,
think who's still. Brees Hall, now like 10% chance. I don't think he'll ever get it.
Kenny Walker,
10%,
Alvin Kamara.
30, 40.
I would put him 45. Like he's just
But
under
like he
McCaffrey.
never even been like he never even rushed for 1,000 fucking yards. Like I know that's like stupid to say
That's
because
crazy.
of how good he is in the pass game. But like Alvin Kamara, dude, like, and granted he's had some injury years where like, oh man, like he was gonna rush for 1,000. Like the year he played in like fucking 13 games, he had 900 yards. Like, oh yeah, I think he would have got it.
Yeah.
I mean, he never even made an All Pro team, and I love Kamara. Like, I
He's
don't think
never
the
made
gap.
an all pro. That's kind of
I
crazy.
think he was a rookie, but it wasn't even like a fucking
I got a name for you. I got two. I got what about
two
Austin?
second team All Pros. Kamara.
Oh, okay. Austin Eckler.
No, I don't think he's a Hall of Fame running back. I think he's like 30%, and he's had a fucking tremendous career.
Touchdown
Tremendous.
wise. Touchdown wise. If you look at his yardage, it's not good. He doesn't have that many yards. He just has a shit ton of touchdowns.
I get that. I'm not really. I mean, it's just the eye test, bro. Is Austin Eckler a Hall of Famer? Do you?
No.
Like, bro, I think Darren Sproles got a better fucking chance because at least what his role was, like, he was like the ultimate fucking guy for his role ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Saquon.
10%, 20. Just because the way I think he's had, like, if you told me before he got drafted, like, lay out the worst case for him, like, it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shitty quarterback play the whole time, other than, like, maybe last year, like, horrible coaching, injuries, O line, couldn't get any worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, ETN.
10%. I would probably drop that to 5%.
But you don't even see like he's a great running back. But you're like, damn, that just ain't it, dude.
Yeah. I just don't think
Zeke.
there's a chance. I would say about 40%.
Yeah, I think so. I think what's gonna happen one is like there's like certain thresholds where it's like the baseline, like you're gonna see all these guys. And like this is the one thing I'll say. Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara. they're close in terms of talent to Corey Dillon and like those guys, right? Like that we grew up watching,
Mm-hmm.
but they just never gonna put up the numbers because it's just like the focal point. Like, dude, Marshall Falk's numbers are gonna be like, holy shit, how did he put those up? Like, no one will ever get close to that shit as a running back.
What
Like,
about?
I'll say this: you think no one will ever touch Emmett Smith's record ever? I don't think anyone will get close
I think Austin Eckler can get close.
to his rushing record.
No, not rushing yards. But how
That's what I'm
many?
saying.
Who's the lead? Who's all time leader for touchdowns? Is it Emmitt Smith?
Oh, Jerry Rice, he's like 200 or
No,
something.
no, no, no. Running backs.
Oh, I
I
think
think it's
it's
Emmett. I'm pretty sure it's Emmett. It might be. Is it? Is it Walter
I
Payton?
don't think it's yeah, it's
Or
Elm at 164
okay, 164. How much does Eckler have? Does he have a shot?
at rushing touchdowns or
Yeah.
total touchdowns.
Oh, that's something to look at too. Total
I
touchdowns.
hold on, this is a great. How many other touchdowns in rushing do you think Emmett Smith fucking has? Like 10.
I would say the over under is 15.
Eckler has 38 rushing touchdowns, one currently.
Jesus Christ. What about passing though? Passing
He's got
touchdowns.
30.
Okay, he's far behind. He's 100 behind.
So how many touchdowns do you think Emmett Smith has outside of fucking the 164 rushing?
I would say 20.
11. But I
Oh,
said 10. I'm like, was he at fucking 10?
yeah. That's crazy.
He caught one touchdown a year. He was good for one touchdown a year. How many receiving yards do you think is high?
His high, I would say 500.
414.
That was close. Yeah.
He had a fucking year where he rushed for 1,200 yards and only caught 79 yards worth of passes.
There you go, man. It's just they were in there to block more rather than fucking catch a pass out of the backfield.
Eckler has more receiving yards than Smith did his whole career, 20 years.
There you go. Jeez. What about Josh Jacobs? What's his percentage for you? Because he has an all pro.
20, 20, 25. I just think he's only 25, and I don't think
But
he's
he has
like
a
I don't
lot
think
of
he's worn out.
miles. No, he has a lot of
I don't think he
miles.
has that many miles.
Well, he had a
Nah,
lot of miles coming out of Bama, right? Or is
no,
that
he
the
had a
opposite? No,
very
the
few.
opposite.
He only
Yeah,
had 250 carries in his college career.
right. I think that's a guy that you can look at if the Raiders get things fucking on track.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
he has 1 year under his belt, and this year maybe he can turn it around. I don't think he'll be a like 100% like Derrick Henry, but I just feel like he'll be one of those guys to watch out for because he's done it. He's done it for a year where it's like he probably had one of the best running back seasons that we have seen in the last like 10 years, besides Derrick Henry.
ooh, that would be a good one. Like to go back to 2013 since then.
And who's had the best years?
Yeah, like what would the 10 best running back years look like? I
I'm
mean,
pretty
if
sure
AP
AP had
qualified,
one. I think
well, I
we
don't know
should
if
do it
it's 10
after.
years
I
ago.
think we should do it after AP.
Life post. I think all running backs should be referred as post AP,
Post
even
AP.
though he like literally played like a year ago
Yeah.
on the team.
Post AP, I mean, you got to throw Gurley in there. He had an amazing year.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Derrick Henry, Ezekiel Elliott got some years in there. Um,
I think McCaffrey has 1 year in there
yeah, on the
when he had
Panthers,
the
he had an
thousand and
amazing.
thousand.
Yeah, that's great.
Dude, I remember. I don't know. Alvin Kamara's rookie year was so fucking crazy. I felt
Yeah,
like because he was just like gonna be tackled. It felt like.
yeah.
So
So
that might be a fun one we have to go back to
yeah,
and really do the research.
so I would say this, Max. Is there a Hall of Fame running back that's playing in today's game? It's only Derrick
One,
Henry. It's only Derrick Henry. Number two, do you have to lower the bar? One thousand
yes,
percent. Yes.
yeah, I'd say that one because when we were talking about the receivers and we had like 10 who are going to make the Hall of Fame, and now it's like look at the running backs. Remember when I was like Justin Jefferson? You're like, oh yeah, for sure, he's going to make it, and you're like, he's only played 4 years.
Yeah.
What running back in 4 years is kind of like I'm going to make it?
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing to put the blame on is number one, the offenses. You know, they're obviously different. They're pass happy. Number two, the state of linemen. I would say that's something that's very underrated and not a lot of people are going to talk about. The fact that offensive linemen are drastically worse than back in the day. That's
They
how I
are
feel.
absolutely. That's
Yeah.
a great point.
All right. Anything else on this topic, Max?
No, I just wanted to have the conversation because man, it's looking bleak out there when you try to have like the Mount Rushmore of running backs of like the modern era of running backs, like just don't exist anymore, man. It's just a bunch of guys who are like you want to support, but it's like maybe we just got spoiled one of the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I feel like everyone's having a career now like a Clinton Portis, where it's like 3 fucking years and you're done. I remember how good he was for like 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah. That's facts. All right. That's going to do it, guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, put on that post notifications button. You'll get notified every time we drop a podcast, every time we drop an MJC original, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys joining with us.